Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this. Welcome to the final part of a 4 mini-series episode where I've taken a look back at some of my reaction videos for the Premier League, Championship, League 1 and League 2 table predictions from the beginning of the season. And with Adam, we're going to be sitting down today for the final one to talk about the Premier League. If you have missed any of the other ones, links will be down in the description for all 3 of those videos. But without further ado, let's get into the money. So, league table is on the right hand side. This is how the league table finished. As we go through the video, what you'll see is my predictions popping up on the left hand side. And if I predicted a team to finish in 20th and they finish in 17th, what you'll see is a green plus sign with the number of positions that they finish up higher or lower depending on what it was. But yeah, let's just have a little bit of a chat about the Premier League season first of all. I'll be completely honest with you. Top 6 in any order is what we kind of expected. Wolves doing particularly well, but the rest of the
Wolves had such a season.
Yeah, but the rest of the division is what it is. I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of the Premier League anymore. I've got Sky Sports and I watch it every weekend, and I kind of sit there halfway through some of these games and I think I don't really know why I'm watching this, but it's been an interesting season. Fulham spending ridiculous amounts of money and still getting relegated just goes to show that you should not abandon your philosophy that got you promoted. Stick with it.
They did not spend well, though.
No, they didn't.
They paid a lot of money for not very good players.
Yeah, and then they start going through. Then start going through a bit of a sort of merry-go-round ride of managers coming in and trying and not doing well, etc. But any particular team that kind of stood out for you, doing well, not doing well, before we get into my predictions of this
right, the title race between Man City and Liverpool took the headlines.
Yeah, it did. Probably for the right reasons, to be
fair.
It
was incredible. But for me, what on earth has happened at Man United? We've been able to stop talking about them for a while, like with Mourinho coming in. He kind of just everything was just bubbling away for a bit, but he kind of lost track of things. Everything went a bit downhill, and then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, and it's like he couldn't lose a game, he couldn't do anything wrong. Fans were singing that damn song about him being at the wheel, like in every corner of the world, basically. Yeah. And then he signed a contract.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Big mistake. Do not give him a contract until the end of the season when you know how he can handle an issue.
There's people calling for him to be sacked. I mean, that would just be utterly ridiculous.
That's just absurd.
That's silly talk. But by the same measure, I honestly don't know what he's got to do. That club is so far off a championship title race. I couldn't even begin. Wolves in 7th are closer to a title challenge than Man United are right now, with the way they finished. Seriously.
Big call. No, I agree. Obviously the top 2 was a hell of a battle. The fact that Liverpool only lost 1 game all season and still finished second just goes to show how well Man City did. Problems off the field for Chelsea, but still finished third. Sarri done amazingly well. Man United, massive issues. And, Jose Mourinho's statement of me finishing with second with this team last season is the best achievement he's ever done doesn't actually sound like a ridiculous statement when you look back at it. But yeah, let's go into some of the teams, shall we? Right, this is how I predicted the bottom 3 would finish. Cardiff and Huddersfield. Right, I got 2 correct predictions that they would be relegated, not in the right spots. Cardiff battled up to a certain point, but the quality was just not there. Huddersfield's second season syndrome just couldn't repeat the success. Obviously, David Wagner just then left. I think they're going to do all right next season in the Championship, but it was just a bit too much.
Cardiff had other issues as well. Let's not forget the Salah incident as well.
Yeah,
they had things lined up, and there's things out of their control that have gone awfully wrong for them. And I'm not saying that's contributed to where they are, but their season could have looked different than what it did.
Could have done.
They're horrible situations in football that rarely happen, but it's happened to them, and the actual the relegation fight went very, very late, and it wouldn't have taken much to swing it.
No, it really wouldn't.
Huddersfield, on the flip side of that, did not play very good football all season long, and it's one of the worst seasons in Premier League history. So deserved.
Exactly. I had Bournemouth going down as well.
they're a nothing team right now.
I don't know about that.
No, I can't see them doing much more than those bottom 6 or 7 spaces for a while.
Yeah, they're just one of those teams that they're doing things in the right way in terms of signing good young English talent from the lower leagues, giving them a chance. The likes of David Brooks this season has been phenomenal. They signed Chris Mepham from Sheffield United last season. They've just signed a young lad, I can't remember his name now, someone Smith Kelly or Liam Kelly from Bristol, I can't remember his name, from Bristol City this season. So they're trying to do things in the right way. For me, I'm waiting for the bubble to burst. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to happen, and I just thought it was going to happen this season. They survived. They, like you said, they're just in that cluster of
they haven't got the clout or the fan base or anything to be able to be put on an even playing field with the rest of that league, and that's what fueled that comment of them being a nothing team. Yeah. They're making up the numbers in the league, and they're getting off some decent wins, but they're not going to hide into nothing with what they do. They don't get battered every week.
It just goes to show though, that after a couple of years with some money,
you can establish
yourself. It's not difficult once you've survived. So this is the rest of the bottom half of the table. 3 correct predictions. I'm buzzing about this one because this is the most I've got right in any of the divisions.
It's because the Premier League's a little bit more predictable than every other league. Am I giving away some secrets?
Just a bit. Watford, phenomenal season. Obviously got to the final of the FA Cup as well.
Yeah, big thumbs up for that. That was an incredible achievement.
Yeah, massive achievement. You know what? Watford are one of those teams that I can't work out what is going on, but whatever is going on is doing well. Because they survive every year. They're never
in connection, my friend.
Yeah, they're never in a relegation battle. They're never threatening with relegation. You know what? Next season, I'm just going to stick them in 12th, and that'll be that done. Fulham, terrible season. Started off with Jokanovic, passing style. Someone signed those players, ridiculous amounts of money, and then just went, well, why are you not playing them? And then started to play them. The season fell apart. Just don't abandon. And this is, Norwich are not going to do this. We've already made it crystal clear. But do not abandon your philosophy that got you promoted. Simple as that.
I think
simple as that.
Scott Parker's got things on the right track now.
Yeah,
in terms of where things are. Like he knows how he wants to play, and he was, even when Fulham were relegated, he would be very confident in coming forward at the end of the season and saying, we've been building something that wasn't good enough still.
Yeah.
So he knows what he wants.
Exactly.
I think next season they'll have a strong year in the Championship.
That's it. Burnley started off so early on in the season because of European qualifiers from the previous season.
Don't know if they ever stopped playing football, did they?
No, but it just took its toll. But we know what Burnley are about. They're effective at what they do, and Sean Dyche is a hell of a manager for getting what he has got out of his particular team. But again, another season has survived, another load of money. They're improving things around the club. They've got the new training facilities. They're improving on all the corporate stuff. They're building new parts into the stadium. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. It's not always about big money signings. It's about improving and making sure the club is sound and secure, because you see so many teams go up to the Premier League, try go boom or bust, come back and in financial difficulties. And we've had it at Norwich. I mean, we've basically had to sell every single player worth of any value to...
I mean, at the end of the day, they could sign one player for 25 million. He could... season-long injury after his first game.
Yeah,
and then what could that 20? It's not going to improve the club.
No, and it won't fit into what they're doing. That's simple as that. Brighton, I wanted you to go down purely because Chris Hughton was your manager, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Chris Hughton as a manager. He's good. He'll come in and stabilise things for 1 or 2 seasons, but after that, you need to get him out the door. I know they took a lot of stick for sacking Chris Hughton when they did. A lot of people who haven't had Chris Hughton as their manager will not understand what I'm talking about. He absolutely destroyed Norwich City when we were in the Premier League, and he actually forced my brother to give up his season ticket. He got so fed up watching Chris Hughton's football. He's like Mick McCarthy. I don't like him. I think you're going to do better next season because you've got rid of him. That was a bit of a rant.
But, I quite like him as a manager, but then I haven't had a team.
Do you like Mick McCarthy as a manager?
He is a awful specimen of a gentleman.
There you go. Chris Hughton's the loveliest man you ever meet, but lovely doesn't win you football games.
Next.
Newcastle 13th, Palace in 12th. Newcastle under Rafa Benitez. He's an absolute magician. If the new owner comes in and he can give this man some spending power, Newcastle are going to be above Arsenal.
I genuinely, it worries me what they could actually achieve, because
the things
that Rafa can actually do with nothing and just being messed about by that Sports Direct muppet, like it's a joke what he's managing to do there.
Yeah.
And he's actually got some pretty good players to go forward with next season. There's players that are doing bits. Palace had a good year.
Palace had a very good year.
I think you probably predicted them to have quite a strong year based on that, but I thought they came through.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka, Zaha, Andros Townsend.
Will Zaha go this summer though?
No,
I know this is a season review. I don't think anyone's going to pay the money for him, are they?
No, I don't think he will. I think he wants to go, but Palace are quite within their right to say, do you know what? If anyone wants him, because he's an absolute unbelievable player, if anyone wants him, you've got to pay 80 million plus.
Yeah, I can't see anyone paying that for
him. No, they won't, and that's why he will stay, and so will Wan-Bissaka, and they'll get better. I like him as a football club. Roy Hodgson, underrated season. He's a good manager.
He not quite too many years left in him, can he?
No, he's not quite top 4 manager, but he's a hell of a Premier League manager. Southampton, awful season.
Dreadful.
Got Hussein Hartel and
well pronounced.
Thank you. And they improved. They shouldn't have been where they were. Shouldn't have finished where they did, but they did. Next season's going to be a brilliant year for him. I'm predicting big things from Southampton next year. They've got him in charge. He's going to do really well. I like him as a manager. I think he's.
They just need a kick up the backside.
This season was probably that kick up the backside. Yeah. Probably was the motivating factor to get them. You know, I said it shouldn't have been happen, but that's what that's what you get when you appoint Mark Hughes as a football manager. The guy's terrible. He's in that bracket of managers we were talking about in the last video. People who should never get a job: Sam Allardyce, David Moyes.
We didn't think of him, did we?
Oh no, but I hate Mark Hughes.
Chuck him in the mixer.
Mark Hughes is an arrogant man. Arrogant man who cannot. It's either the ref's fault, it's the linesman's fault, or the opposition for worse. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it because he's a muppet. Anyway,
James isn't a fan of Mark Hughes.
No, I'm
just thought I'd clear that up.
And teams who finish outside of the top 6. Wolves, incredible season, finishing in 7th. I predicted them finishing 10th. I knew they were going to do well this season, but not that well. They were
doing
insane.
Bits all over the field. They're just so good, and some of the goals they scored this year were absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Am I right in thinking that they've managed to qualify for Europe in some weird backwards way as well?
I don't know. I'm not. I put the line between 6th and 7th because that's just what a tradition is.
European thing now because we've got all English finals and something about the FA Cup as well.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I'm pretty confident Wolves are now involved as well. So
they probably are.
How big is that though? First season in the Premier League.
But they've got tremendous spending power at that club. They've got they've got the George Mendes guy who is the powerful agent.
I was going to say they've got links in, haven't they?
And you know what? They've brought in big money players in the Championship. Having Ruben Neves in the Championship was a hell of a signing.
That was silly when that happened.
That was ridiculous. But they've improved on that this season with some other signings. And do you know what? That's a message to the rest of Europe. If you want to come to Wolves, we're going to do well.
Yeah,
we're going to do well. They've got more about them as a club than a lot of the teams that they finished above.
Oh, 100%.
You know, moving forward, they could be another Man City in a few years' time.
They're a challenger at this point. They're a challenger.
Exactly. And then we had West Ham.
It's good to see them on the up a little bit now.
It was an okay season. Yeah. It wasn't great. It wasn't poor. But to be honest, they probably needed that as a club. And obviously they've announced today that they're getting rid of the likes of Andy Carroll, Sammy and Nasri,
clear out.
Adrian, people on stupid wages clogging up their spending power. People may or may not like the owners of the football club. I don't particularly like Karen Brady as a person. I don't particularly like David Gold as a person and whatever that other guy's name is. But, Pellegrini is a good manager. He's gone in, steadied the ship. Hopefully things can get better next season, but,
Pellegrini's a top 6 manager. I don't think they've got top 6 organisation for how the club is run.
No.
And that will always hold them back. But they've probably got the resources. And, they've had a stadium donated to them, so...
Yeah. Less said about that, the better. Everton finishing in 8th. I knew this was going to happen. I predicted Everton to finish 8th. It's another one of my correct predictions. That's what now? 1, 2, 3, 4 right so far. I'm happy with that.
They were rubbish to watch this year.
Yeah,
they did all right, but they
really
were not.
poor.
They weren't fun to watch.
No.
Like a few seasons back, Everton were quite a decent team to watch, and even like with Theo Walcott, and it just hasn't really set the place on fire. And
Well, no, but it's the kind of club that the signings they make are not quite good enough for the top 6. So they either come in and go, right, I've got something to prove now, and they do really well, or they just go, do you know what, I'm quite comfortable here, and it's just mediocre.
And so many of those people that do come in and do well at Everton do it for one season, and then they shift them off. They're a selling club when they get success.
Yeah, very true. And then Leicester finishing in 9th, I had them finishing in 7th. You know, what's a couple of places?
Another club with a terrible
situation.
this
Yeah,
season.
horrible.
Football's been a funny thing this year, and the Premier League has been impacted quite heavily.
Yeah.
And Leicester, for how close they are as a family club, have done exceptionally well to hold together and do what they've done. I think they can build like based on how they finished. There's
Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, he's
next
got it all
season.
together.
The likes of Maddison, who absolute baller.
He needs to be in that England team.
Yeah, he does. But I agree with putting him in the under 21s and giving him that championship to kind of get him used to tournament football. But the likes of him, Damari Gray, if they can keep a hold of Tielemans, that's a hell of a signing as well. And now building some young players. Ben Chilwell at left back. They've got some great young players coming.
How long has Vardy got left in him though? I think this is the first season we've seen from him where he's starting to get leggy, and
but even with that, he's still scoring goals. Do you know what I mean? He's a good striker.
He was more frozen out, wasn't he, than anything at the start of the season? So I suppose it doesn't really give a fair comparison.
No,
because he wasn't much liked by the previous manager, whose name escapes me.
Claude Puel.
Oh, that's the one.
Claude Puel. Who's an okay manager again, but Brendan Rodgers next season. He's
manager now.
Brendan Rodgers is going to do well next season. I've said a lot of teams are going to do well next season. There's only so many places you can kind of compete for. And then here is the top 6 predictions. Top 2, called it. Man City, winners of the league, called it. Followed by Liverpool, Man United and Arsenal, Tottenham and Chelsea. I got them the wrong way round. Chelsea had, they've done well considering the challenges that Sarri's had.
I've only just seen what you've put, like, just for everyone at home. I've only just seen what James actually has predicted for the top 6.
Right.
I'm quite surprised by the sort of orders and stuff that are in there.
Well, Man United, I thought, right, with Jose Mourinho, they're not going to have as good of a season as what they did last year, but it just fell apart. And it was the right decision to get rid of him, but we've talked already about it, the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's in there. I didn't think Arsenal were going to get top 4. I did think they were going to get top 4 rather. I thought Unai Emery was going to do better.
I don't know if he even suits Premier League football, Emery.
I can't work out what is going on at Arsenal.
No.
I can't figure it out.
But he's got incredible pedigree as a manager.
Yeah. Lacazette and Aubameyang up top is a great partnership, but the rest of the team is like...
if you put them two forwards in, say, Man City's squad, because Man City have got a bit of a striking problem, my word.
Dangerous.
Yeah, that would be
dangerous. But for me, I kind of felt that Tottenham were going to have a difficult season at Wembley again, getting used to the new stadium. They had a period during the season where they just didn't draw any games. They either won or they lost. But they've done amazingly well, and we're recording this prior to the Champions League final, so we don't know whether or not they're going to win any silverware. Pochettino is a fantastic manager. Highly rated. Future's bright for Tottenham.
As long as they can keep Pochettino.
Bright. Yeah, true.
Because I don't know how they've transitioned to a new manager. We've got to remember, Tottenham have achieved what they've achieved without spending anything.
True.
No other club has done that, although Chelsea are about to embark on something. But unfortunately, things just fell apart a little bit towards the end of the season. I think it's a shame that Tottenham weren't rewarded with a third place finish as well, because Chelsea's football was absolutely berated in the middle of the season. It was rotten, and somehow they've recovered that to a third place finish. Don't ask me how. I don't even know where they picked up the points.
No.
But I thought Sarri was going to go.
I think he still will.
And we had this big thing with a goalkeeper in the European competition who wouldn't listen to. They have had some absolutely horrific moments. There's the whole Hazard story that's going on in the background.
He's gone. I'm sorry, but he's going in the summer. This will be his last game we're recording it at the Europa League final.
So I kicked off 30 minutes ago.
Right, okay, we need to get on. We need to crack on so we can watch that video. But yeah, Man City and Liverpool, we've talked about it. Unbelievable title race. It went down to the last game of the season, but did it really? We all knew Man City were going to beat Brighton. But yeah, incredible. And again, Liverpool could win the Champions League final. We don't know. Man City won the quadruple. Domestic trophies, won them all. Shield, League Cup, FA Cup, League.
If Tottenham win
season.
the Champions League, there's going to be a lot of upset faces in Liverpool. Like after the season that they've had, it's not going to be nice at all. It'll be an incredible story as well, considering where Tottenham have come from to get through.
Yeah.
But by the same measure, Liverpool have had just an unreal season. There's so many seasons that would have preceded this one where they would have won the league, but comfortably.
Yeah.
And honestly,
just goes to show how well Man City have done.
Yeah, it does, and that's the other bit. There's players for Man City that we haven't spoken about so far who this year have found their game. Sterling for me is the big one.
Yep.
He was
Love
nowhere near the pace where he is this year. Sane has been absolutely unreal. I love watching him play. I think he's an incredible player. Yeah. Aguero's proving time and time again that he's possibly the best forward in the world, albeit now he's been there many years. Company's on his way. Had another sort of, effectively people are saying Company won it for them with the game against Leicester, that absolute belter.
Yeah, great goal.
So I follow Man City's football quite closely. I just enjoy watching it, and it seems to be something that BT Sport like to broadcast 19 times a week. So I tend to watch quite a bit of it, but they've had some players that have done really, really well, but they spent quite a lot last summer, and I think it's paid off for them, really. I don't know how many years you can continually spend that kind of money, but
yeah, that's it. But what did you make of my predictions? Where did your club finish? If you're a supporter of any of these teams, or even if you're not, let me know what you think of how each club has done down in the description below. Me and Adam, this is predominantly a non-league channel, but we are really keen to get involved with as many Football League clubs and as many Premier League clubs as possible. So if you want to interact with us, leave us some comments. We'll reply to both of them. And if you want to watch some of our non-league content, links and playlists will be all in the description below. Make sure you check kind of that stuff out. Non-league is an important part of the football pyramid, and we're actively trying to promote it. So yeah, go and check that out. But yeah, as I said, leave us some comments and we'll reply to all of them. But yeah, thank you very much for taking the time to watch another video on the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. As I said, leave a comment and subscribe for more content. Until we see each other next time, as always on the channel, adios.